Iran-Israel conflict, a 2025 deep dive. The Iran-Israel conflict is one of the most volatile and complex rivalries in modern geopolitics. What began as a cold ideological divide has now escalated into open warfare in 2025, with missile strikes, cyber attacks, and global consequences. This video unpacks the roots of this enmity, the key flashpoints over the decades, and the explosive developments of 2025. Historical background, from allies to arch-rivals. Pre-1979, quiet cooperation. Before 1979, Iran and Israel were not enemies. Under Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, Iran maintained discreet but strategic ties with Israel. Both nations shared intelligence and economic interests, especially in countering Arab nationalism and Soviet influence. 1979 Islamic Revolution. The turning point. Everything changed with Iran's Islamic Revolution. The overthrow of the Shah and the rise of Ayatollah Khomeini transformed Iran into a theocratic state. Israel was now labeled the Zionist enemy, and Iran's foreign policy pivoted toward opposing Western influence and Israeli existence. 1980s to 2000s, proxy wars and shadow games. Hezbollah's rise. Iran began funding and arming Hezbollah in Lebanon, which became a major threat to Israel. Support for Hamas. Iran extended support to Hamas in Gaza, further entrenching itself in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Nuclear ambitions. Iran's nuclear program, though claimed to be peaceful, raised alarms in Israel and the West. Israel viewed a nuclear-armed Iran as an existential threat. 2000s. Cyber warfare and covert ops. Stuxnet virus. 2010. A joint US-Israeli cyber attack crippled Iran's Natanz nuclear facility. Assassinations. Iranian nuclear scientists were targeted in covert operations widely attributed to Mossad. JCPOA 2015. The Iran nuclear deal offered a brief diplomatic thaw, but Israel opposed it, calling it insufficient. 2018 to 2023. Escalation returns. US withdrawal from JCPOA 2018. President Trump's exit from the deal reignited tensions. Gaza War 2021 and Hamas attack 2023. Iran-backed groups clashed with Israel, deepening hostilities. Shadow war intensifies. Israel ramped up strikes on Iranian targets in Syria and Iraq. Iran retaliated through proxies. 2025. The war breaks out. June 13th, 2025. Operation Rising Lion Israel launched a massive airstrike campaign on Iran, targeting nuclear and military facilities in Natanz, Isfahan, and Forda. The operation was triggered by intelligence suggesting Iran was weeks away from building a nuclear bomb. Iran's response. Iran retaliated with hundreds of missiles and drones, striking Israeli cities like Haifa and Tel Aviv. Civilian casualties mounted on both sides. Iran also targeted Israeli research centers and military bases. Key developments as of June 21, 2025. Death toll. Over 639 killed in Iran, including civilians and IRGC commanders. 24 dead in Israel. Nuclear sites hit. Israel claims to have delayed Iran's nuclear program by 2 to 3 years. U.S. involvement. President Trump has deployed B-2 bombers to Guam and given a 2-week window before deciding on direct military action. Evacuations. India's Operation Sindhu has evacuated over 1,000 nationals, including students from Jammu and Kashmir. Internet blackouts. Iran cut off internet access for days, leaving civilians in the dark during missile strikes. Diplomatic fallout. Talks in Geneva between Iran and European powers have stalled. Iran's nuclear threshold. The immediate trigger was Iran's announcement of activating a third uranium enrichment facility, just hours after the IAEA issued a formal censure. Israel viewed this as a red line crossed. Israel's existential fear for Israel, a nuclear Iran, is not just a strategic threat, it's an existential one. Prime Minister Netanyahu declared that the strikes were aimed at the heart of Iran's ballistic missile program. Proxy pressure. Iran's support for Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis has encircled Israel with hostile forces. The 2023 Hamas attack, widely believed to be backed by Iran, was a major catalyst. The Iran-Israel conflict is not just a regional war. It's a clash of ideologies, ambitions, and survival instincts. What began in the shadows has now erupted into daylight, with consequences that could reshape the Middle East and beyond.